You can now be arrested for anime images on your phone. And I really wish I did not have to say those words. I really wish I was joking and I was just making a very elaborate shitpost. But no, I am not. This is real. This is actually happening. This is an article that literally came out today. You can literally see the date. This man here was stopped at a terminal in the Dublin Airport of Ireland, and what's crazy, he was stopped by Homeland Security. Yes, that Homeland Security, the United States federal agency. They stopped him at the Dublin Airport, and then he was promptly turned over to the authorities of Ireland and UK, and he has been thrown into the jail cell. Now, you're probably wondering, what anime images did he technically have? Did he have, like, AI art or something like that? What did he have? Like, what did he really have that caused him to actually get arrested and labeled with crimes like this? It was because of Brown Dust 2. He was arrested for Brown Dust 2 on his phone, and images of Brown Dust 2 on his phone. And to complicate, or to kind of make this more complex, this whole thing, apparently the man that got arrested, he was going to the New York Anime Convention for Brown Dust 2. Apparently that was actually this month in August. It was happening. It was announced a while back. And he was traveling, from the Dublin Airport, and he was going to make his way to the New York City Anime Convention. Obviously, from the way these articles are worded, he never even got to make it to U.S. soil. He never got to go to America or New York to go to the anime convention. He was promptly stopped. And most likely, he was tipped off to be stopped at, the terminal by probably, Ireland or UK or whatever. And then they had, maybe Homeland Security stop the man before he got on the plane or something. And then, once again, he was turned over. I don't know necessarily how the process happened, but whatever the case may be, he was stopped by the Department of Homeland Security for the United States. And then the authorities took him, and they're the ones charging him. It's not America charging him or anything, but it's obviously, UK, Ireland and stuff. Now, I do want to clarify, within the two articles that are out right now that I could find about the situation, Brown Dust 2 is never mentioned. However, it is mentioned in both articles that the individual was trying to go to New York City for an anime convention, and it does line up with Brown Dust 2. So, the information from Pirate Nation, it might not be incorrect. However, even if it is incorrect, the fact of the matter is both articles do straight up outline that it was anime images that caused the man to get arrested. So, even then, the point still stands that a man got arrested for fictional content, and that is honestly unacceptable. But I'm getting a little bit off topic. The point of the matter is that this man was arrested for anime images. And what this technically does is now the box, Pandora's box, has been opened. It is officially open now. There is no going back. What this Pandora's box is now doing is that this brings into question Crunchyroll. This brings into question Sony. This brings into question all gacha games, gaming. It brings into question just manga. Fictional content in general now is now under the eye of scrutiny, to where you can be arrested in UK, Ireland, and EU if you have anime content on your phone. And because, from what we can find out, it is because of Brown Dust why he was arrested, this showcases that the vagueness of this is so damaging. Where is the line? Because you have kids, most of the cast of, Naruto is kids. Most anime, actually. And it's just, Oh my goodness. This is going to affect gaming. It will 100% affect gaming as well. It's going to affect live-action movies or regular movies, animated movies. Not anime, but, Disney movies and stuff. It can affect that. This is crazy. This is actually crazy that this has happened. Pandora's box is officially open. And I don't think it's going to close now. And you know what really pisses me off about this whole situation right now? It's the fact that they had the audacity to do this. Read that final two words of what I highlighted there. Anime images. Anime images. They are straight up. They are straight up saying that anime images is the same as a living, breathing person. That's what they're saying. But even if we disregard this point, and don't even talk about that. What makes me so infuriated about this is that it's very clear that this government does not give a absolute fuck about kids and people. They don't. They don't care. We have seen the rampant corruption in this last month. It is astronomically insane. To the invasion of your privacy, them trying to shut down Wikipedia, to them forcing multiple companies to censor themselves or face fines, to having people arrested for memes, having people labeled as terrorists for even wanting to talk about immigration or illegal immigration, wanting to put black boxes in people's vehicles to listen in on what they're doing, where they're going at any given time. It is insane. And that's just a few things. There's so much. There's so much more. And if you've been watching my channel for this last month, It is insane. This is the same country that has silenced, clarification, same countries that have actively silenced people talking about violent gangs, people violently hurting people, going and exploiting women and children, and hurting them. These governments are silencing people that want to talk about this, that are upset with the rampancy of violence and crime and thievery, but they are going out of their way, and they're putting resources into arresting people for fictional content, and then also arresting people for catcalling in, the UK. Dude, I'm tired, man. I just don't know how this keeps getting worse. I cannot believe we're at the point to where you can get arrested for anime images. I did not expect 2025 to turn out like this. It makes me so infuriated to know that Homeland Security also helped with this. I know it might be wrong to completely blame them because they were probably just doing what the, UK and Ireland authorities were telling them to do because they were on their soil. But it bugs me that our government and our funds and stuff is going to stuff like this, but they refuse to release the Epstein list. It boggles my mind, and it infuriates me to no end, because ever since the public wanted to know who was responsible, the people on the Epstein list, all this crazy stuff has just happened. I've talked about it. You cannot have 100 different things happen like this and just say it's a coincidence. You can't. You can't. You want to know my prediction on what's going to happen now? Now that Pandora's box is open? Now that we got to this point? I predict, and I hope I'm wrong. This is one thing I hope I am entirely wrong, and I hope it does not happen, because it's horrifying. It's a horrifying future that I 100% hope does not happen. I want to be completely wrong when I say this. But, as history has showed us, in the history books itself, that obviously the UK and EU and stuff do not want you to read. They want to silence or censor. History has showed us, when you push a certain way, people will push back even harder to the extreme. And a pendulum will swing very hard back the other direction. And what the government is currently doing is going to push a pendulum swing so hard, there will be a rise of a new dictator. A dictator like Hitler. I'm not even joking. I legitimately think if this continues to happen and things are not put back on the rails and actually some form of just peace doesn't happen, you will see a rise of a new dictator. That might be just as bad or worse than Hitler. I'm not even joking. Because history has shown us when you try to oppress people or you do these crazy things, stuff like that typically happens. Times heat up, war happens, civil war happens. That's what will happen. And you guys might think I'm just overreacting because it's just anime content. It's not just anime content that someone got arrested for. It's the fact that it's systematically so much that's happened back to back in this last month that this showcases the overreach and how the governments within power right now, they don't care about their populace. They're not listening. You have people making petitions that get over a million signatures, and the government literally says, nah, we don't care, we're not listening to you. The fact that you have a government actively working against the people and not caring about what the people have to say, should alarm you. And I think, like I said, it's going to have a pendulum swing so freaking hard, it's going to be nightmare fuel. And I don't want to imagine what will happen. I don't even want to begin to imagine how bad it's going to get. But it will, if something isn't done. I'm done. I just wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. I hope that this guy here, if it just... I getting arrested for anime images, I truly hope he doesn't have his life ruined. But this is 2025, and most likely his life is ruined. I'll leave it at that, though. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment for the algorithm. Chibi out.